Hello and welcome to a gameplay analysis of Jarvan IV. And today I'm going to be doing a challenger gameplay analysis from one of Shining 4 Diamonds games. And he's a challenger EU player who is in the top 100 right now, but he peaked around top 12 in the entire EU server. So that is really amazing, and I'm really honored to have a gameplay analysis of him today. By the way, I already made a guide on Jarvan for his abilities, combos, runes, spells, and literally everything else that you need to know to be playing Jarvan. So if you haven't already watched that guide first, please go watch that first and then come back to this video so that you understand how to play him properly and what is going on throughout the gameplay. So in this video, I'm going to be covering a bunch of tips and tricks for playing Jarvan throughout the gameplay and explaining what Shining Diamond is doing. I'm also going to be doing a Q&A session with the man himself, Shining Diamond, at the end of this video, where I go over a bunch of tips and tricks for Jarvan 4, like how to play him in different stages of the game, how to snowball, what are good and bad matchups, and everything that you need to know from a challenger's perspective. So stick around at the end of the video if you want to figure that out. So without further ado, let's hop right into the gameplay. Alright, so now we're going to be going into a game by the man himself, Shining Diamond. Right here, some challenger level gameplay. So right here we can see he's spawning and he's probably going to go for his red buff. So here I think he's going to go for basically a standard red Raptors and then go from there. So he starts off with his third skill because you want to be doing that because then when you get a leash from your laners, then they'll have an attack speed boost as well as you get a passive attack speed boost when you level up that skill. So yeah, you want to be leveling up that skill first to help out with your leashes. The passive on the skill is really good, and it will also help the attack speed of your allies. It's really good when you have your Dragon Lane duo giving a leash. That way you have more people with attack speed boost. However, if you are starting on the Baron lane, then it's also completely fine to start off with his third skill. After that, you want to be leveling up his first skill. And so he's going for Red Raptors clear, like I said here. The reason why he does this is because after Red Raptors, you have so many different options here. You can gank mid, you can go for your Krugs and then full clear. You can go invade the enemy jungle, you can go to your blue, or you can do a full clear. So there's like so many different options that you can go for after Red Raptors. That's what he opts to do here. Oh, that's very unfortunate. So Yasuo survived at 1 HP, so he did have to use his flash there. That's very unfortunate. But it's not too bad because Orianna can shove the wave and Yasuo will probably be missing some of his XP. So unfortunately, I guess Orianna dies here as well. So yeah, this is kind of a disadvantage because Wukong's already level 4 and he's only level 3. But we'll see how he can bring it back in this game because I know he snowballs really hard throughout this game. So here he's just waiting maybe to smite the Scuttle Crab. Here I would actually be farming the wave mid so that Orianna doesn't get too behind, and also that way I can make... So here he steals the Wukong's blue buff, which is actually pretty nice, and this actually kind of turns the game around because now Wukong just wasted a bunch of time trying to take his blue buff, as well as him obviously getting the XP and gold from the blue buff. He is able to get a really clean kill onto the Wukong, and Orianna's coming, so this should also be a kill on the Yasuo if the Yasuo doesn't get ult. Yeah, he just ults the Yasuo, and they're two very clean kills. From here, he should be able to take the Scuttler. I don't know what Malphite's doing here. Malphite should just be dead. Yeah, that wasn't a smart play by Malphite because it's basically 2v1. And the Malphite didn't have enough health. So here he's basically able to take the Rift Scuttler, and now he's back in the game. He is way ahead of his enemy jungler as well as getting the Scuttler on the Baron lane. So now he's probably going to clear his topside jungle because all the camps are up. So now Oriana is coming to help. We'll see how this team fight goes. So yeah, he's able to knock up two, and yeah, it's really hard to engage into MF ult. So I think they'll probably disengage now. Yasuo was a bit overextended. So uh, Yasuo got away, but he had to burn flash, so that's important to note. The dragon's also going to be spawning in 5 seconds. So I think a team fight's going to break out. Okay, in base, Jinx just ulted them for some reason, but Wukong and Lulu were in base, so they should be able to take dragon if all 5 are there. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be enough time to take dragon because not all 5 of their teammates were there at the dragon when they needed to be there. So, okay, he's able to get the smite because the Alistar was there safeguarding the dragon. So Alistar sacrificed himself basically for the dragon, but it's definitely worth it as yeah, getting the first dragon is a huge momentum for their team and also a pretty big like it will help you throughout the entire game scaling, and even if you do get the Elder Dragon, it will also help you with that. So now he's just going to clear his bottom side most likely. Yeah, because all of his camps are up. So again, right now it's 4-6. However, I think that it's pretty even because number one, they did take the dragon, and yeah, I think that the dragon objectives like the dragon are so much more important than kills because they do help everyone out on your team as well as give everyone a buff. So right here, I don't know what Darius is doing because you don't know where Wukong is. Yasuo's also coming. Yeah, so Darius should not have engaged there because he didn't know where the enemy mid or jungle was. So that was really dangerous by the Darius, and then he got punished. So if Yasuo leaves the lane, then he might be able to get a solo kill on the Malphite. No, but the Malphite's also leaving lane. They're probably going to be trying to take the Rift Herald. So Darius respawned, and they should be able to contest this. I wonder what's happening in the top lane. Unfortunately, he isn't able to get the smite on the Rift Scuttler, and then he misses. So now he has to kill them to take the Rift Herald. It's really risky because he doesn't have smite. However, if he does get a nice knockup and ult, then this should be able to be doable. So yeah, so they win this fight because honestly, Jarvan IV is really OP in the early mid stages of the game. As you can see, during that skirmish, they were able to 2v3 because of all the power that he gets from the early game and the mid game. Those are his power spikes, so you want to be playing a bit more aggressively in those stages of the game. Here, they're going to be able to take the first mid turret, and this is really great for their team as it opens up the map a lot more and helps you get a lot more vision. So taking the first mid turret is actually really great for them. People like underrate this objective a lot. Here he uses his third skill to get more mobility. It's really important that you do this. Like, I think he might do this here again, right? So yeah, his third skill really provides him with a lot of mobility. If you combine it with his first skill, then he can just dash over any walls, and it's pretty long distance. So it's also a safety mechanism, so you don't want to be wasting it all the time. When you are in really like sticky situation, you want to be mainly using it to engage or disengage. Don't use it to roam around the map, or don't do anything stupid like that. So now he has his Locket enchant, and so now he's ready for a team fight. Here he should just be able to clear his bot side again because his red buff is back up. He also has Guardian Angel, so he can be playing a bit more aggressively as well because he does have that revive ready. So yeah, unfortunately his Darius gets tower dived again by the Yasuo. So here he waits for Wukong's flash before he ults, which is really important because after they flash, they have no escape tool because Wukong already used his He already used his escape and also his flash, so that was a free kill. And now they should be able to take the dragon because the enemy jungler is dead, and this is basically a 4v5. Oh, Orianna got a really nice ult, so he's able to knock up. This should be a one team fight for them. That's a really nice ult by the MF, but yeah, I think they should still be able to win this. So yeah, he does pick up the triple kill, and they are able to secure the dragon. At this point, his team, even though the score is only 10-9, it's important to note that his team is completely winning here because number one, they have 2 dragons. Number 2, they already have the mid, like, outer turret. So yeah, they're actually just completely winning here, even though the score may seem close. Yeah. And then over here, you can see that he has actually 100% kill participation. There's been there's been 12 kills, and he has 7 kills, 1 death, and 5 assists. So he's participated in literally every single kill in the game. So you can see how much impact you can have as a jungler. Here it's really risky because it's a 3v1 dive. He is able to get the double knockup, and Lulu's playing this really poorly. Oh, that's very unfortunate. They all survive at like 1 HP. So what happened there is the turret did so much damage to Lulu because the Lulu was tanking the tower aggro, so that when Yasuo ulted in, the turret was still dealing the same amount of damage. So you definitely don't want to be doing that as like a support. You just want to be exiting the turret range. That way the tower damage resets. But unfortunately, they do get the kill on Shining Diamond there. So they do get a shutdown, but it's not too big of a deal because the dragon wasn't up and no like key objectives that the enemy was able to take were up. Alright, so he is able to get a 4-man knockup. And honestly, he's so fed that he can just 1v4 the entire enemy team. And yeah, even though this team fight was a little bit sketchy, they're still able to win because of the 2 dragons that they have, as well as Jarvan IV being a early to mid game champ where he really hits these power spikes, and you want to be exploiting that and taking as many team fights as possible, especially when you're ahead. Here, Wukong was able to escape because he had flash up. So when you do go for solo kills on enemy champions, you want to try to bait out their flash or escape tool. For example, if they have a blink like Ezreal, you want to make sure that he uses 3rd skill on flash before you do ult them, or else they can just easily escape. So here he's able to take a reset and get his death stance. And yeah, again, even though the score is 17-15, they do have the 2 dragons as well as the mid outer turret. So yeah, again, they're just completely winning this game. If they play their cards right, there, this should translate to a win for them. So they're able to get a kill on Lulu and Yasuo as well. They're able to get a kill on both Lulu and Yasuo. So now this is basically a free Baron, and yeah, after this, the Baron's really important objective to end your games faster. If you want to know how to end your games faster, you should be taking these kind of objectives: dragons, barons, turrets, all those kind of good stuff. And if you do those kind of things, you'll be able to snowball and win games. So you can see that he's not just trolling and AFKing farming in his jungle. He's trying to look to play proactively, and he's only missed 1 kill out of all the kills in the game. He's had basically like 90-something% kill participation because he's been there for every single kill except one of them. So you can see how much impact you have as a jungler. Like, honestly, that's how you want to be playing. You want to be looking to gank, to take those big objectives, to counter jungle, and that's how you really snowball and win games. So here he's able to get a kill on the Misfortune since she already flashed, and then he just ults her, and it's a free kill. Here the dragon's up, but it's a 4v5 and the enemy team doesn't have their ADC. So if they do take a team fight, then they should be able to win. Also, it's important to note that Darius is split pushing in the meantime. They're able to kill the Wukong, so this is a free dragon. So During this time, Darius played this really well because he knows that his team can already win without him being there. So instead of joining teamfight, he's split pushing and creating an even bigger lead for his entire team. And since he has Baron, but he's already at the inhibitor turret. So yeah, this is basically game over for the enemy team here, as they are just absolutely destroying them. They're just taking all the turrets. They should be able to take all the inhibitors here and probably take the Nexus as well. Yeah, so this is basically a really clean game by Shining Diamond. So again, the things that you want to be looking to do as a jungler, not just Jarvan 4, but literally any jungler, is you want to be taking objectives, looking to gank, looking to play proactively. Don't just farm your jungle, and look for opportunities to like bring your game to the next level and really, yeah, just really snowball games and really understand your character. So yeah, this is GG's, and now we're going to be going into a Q&A with the man himself, Shining Diamond. So he's going to be providing us with some tips and tricks. All right, guys, so now we're going to be doing a Q&A with the man himself, Shining Diamond. So I'm just going to be quickly asking him some questions, and we'll see how he answers. So my first question for you is, how do you play when you're snowballing?
So when I am snowballing as Jarvan jungle, I especially try to get the first blood on the enemy jungler or in lane. You have to start being dominant, trying to counter jungle the enemy jungler to get him as much behind as possible, and trying to gank the lane that are next to the next objective. For the first 4 minutes, you have to try to get advantage to the dragon lane and mid lane that are near the dragon pit, so you can secure the Drake. And then after that, there is the Rift Herald at 5 minutes, so you have to get to the Baron lane and trying to get a kill. It's also with the tower dive maybe, and after that you can just go to take the Rift Herald and keep snowballing. Take your game as clean as possible, don't try stupid actions, keep trying to counter jungle the enemy jungler and secure every objective like towers, dragons, get a gold lead, not only you, but just try to spread it to your teammates, and that's it, GG.
So, right, so when you're ahead as Jarvan in jungle, you want to be sure to spread your leads by, number one, ganking lanes, taking objectives, and you don't need to always farm your own jungle camps, always to be looking to play proactively, like invades and stuff like that, just as Shining Diamond said. Okay, so my second question for you is, how do you play if you do fall behind?
So when you are behind, you should try to rush income and get as soon as possible your first item, and then go look for an easy gank. Don't greed, just try to keep your game as clean as possible and find easy kills that aren't hard for Jarvan to take. The almost important part is don't gank lane that are behind, especially if you are behind too. Try to get advantage in a winning lane that you can help, then after that you can help everyone.
I think this is like really good advice. Even if you're not playing J4, for junglers in general, you want to be doing this when you're behind, where you're trying to gank lanes that aren't behind, or else it will just put your team in a really bad situation. So I think that's also really great advice. So what do you think about his power spikes? Is it like early, mid, or late? And then what levels do you think are good levels to gank?
So J4 is an early game champion, so is the most powerful in early game, in the early levels. Is power spike is at level 2-3. When you have all of your skills, you can almost do 1v1 with every jungler, and you can get an advantage. So I would suggest to invade when you are at this level. Try to get a 1v1, maybe also the enemy buff, and then you get a kill, you get advantage, you get the enemy jungle behind, and you are in a very good situation. Then after the first item, plus your level 5, you have a really high damage, and you can try also a tower dive, because Jarvan has a lot of CC and damage. The more the game goes further, the more J4 become less effective, because he's an early game champion, and in late game he has not that much damage. He becomes just the one that engages and try to survive as much as possible in the meanwhile your team has to clear. So just try to end the game as fast as possible near the 10 minute to the 12. That's it.
All right, so for my next question, I have, what do you think is a good strategy? Do you think it's better to invade, or do you think it's better just to stay safe?
You have to decide it in game because you have to look many points. If your lanes are winning and or if your lanes are losing, the most of the time, if your lane are losing, you don't want to invade because the enemy team will try to come to you, at least in high elo. They will come to you and you will die just trying to invade. But if your lanes are at least even or also ahead that they are pushing, then it's easy to invade because they can help you, they can cover you, and you can try and invade as level 2 or level 3.
Right, and this is how you can really snowball your games. And I saw some of your games on your stream, and you can invade and just snowball games and win games at like really early times. Like, I think that if you play Jarvan for properly, you can really end games and just, I don't know, climb really high. Honestly, I feel like he's not too hard to play, and I think a lot of players can start picking him up and play him in ranked because he's also really fun to play with all his abilities and his CC. All right, so for one last question is, do you think people should subscribe to my YouTube channel?
Sorry, wasn't it a must? People must subscribe to your channel, man. Useful content. Everyone needs to take a look and subscribe to your channel.
All right, so you heard it from Shining Diamond himself. So go down and hit the red button down below. I'm actually doing a giveaway for 300 subscribers. You can enter by commenting on this video, and there should be a link at the end of this video to that video if you want to go watch it. Also, there should be a pinned comment in the description. Also, you guys need to follow Shining Diamond on Twitch. He streams regularly on the EU server. I'm already subscribed to him. I love his content. He has a great personality. You can go check him out, watch him crush ranked live on Twitch. So that's also going to be a link in the description. Make sure to go follow him. And with that, I think that will end this video. If you guys enjoy my content, again, subscribe. And my next video will be a jungle pathing guide, so if you want to go see that, I'll put a link once it comes out. And with that, I will see you soon. Bye!